How many more exploding comedy cigars will this election have? Just, oh, no. Okay, I know who we can ask. Yeah. Speaking of dreamy, hunky men, why, Bob Cesca joins us now.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special broadcast.
You're cute and I love you, Bob Cesca.
Where you come? Bob is calling us from Washington. You Cesca things.
Go ahead.
Washington, D.C.
Just follow the money.
Good morning, Bob Cesca, a.k.a. Malcolm Nance.
Wow. Can I be Shouty McShoutface for the rest of this segment? Usually I like to go with my pseudonym Dick Pinch, but today Shouty McShoutface is just
live from Clear Lake, Iowa.
Oh, Dick Pinch, Clear Lake, Iowa.
What was the nickname that you got a couple of weeks ago? Captain Fiery Pants?
Oh, Captain Scary Pants.
Captain Scary Pants.
I gave him that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you should read his latest piece. Totally.
I know. I read it.
Captain Scary Pants. Jesus, Bob. Like, we
I'm
need
sorry.
that right now.
I'm so sorry.
The one nerve I'm sharing with Frangela, as we were just talking about this, you better buy a ticket, everybody, to the Sexy Liberal, because this is going to kill us, this one. This is like 1,000 hours of work.
Yes.
Stephen Stills just added Crosby, Stills, Nash. Oh, my God. Bob Cesca, everybody in the universe is in this one.
Yeah,
and it is. But we can't, we were just saying, Bob, it's like you and I talk about the fire hose of tennis balls or whatever. I don't remember. The news just won't stop. You're like, really, Jeffrey Tubin, you had to take your D out?
Yeah.
And
at what point
Tiffany,
during this
really?
segment do I... At what point during this segment do I start masturbating? Or should I wait until we're done talking here?
You have to pretend like you don't know you're still on.
Yeah, because a work Zoom meeting is the sexiest place on earth. That really makes you want to take it out and rub one out.
Nothing makes me more turgid than talking about budgets and timelines,
when we all have
calendars.
When we all have a Zoom meeting of any kind, we're like, oh, God, I'm never going to get it up. I'm never going to get it up again. Really?
Well, this is the thing. He talked about how he tried to mute his video and it didn't work. That was his excuse. And my question is, again, why don't you just wait the extra 3 minutes until the Zoom meeting is done instead of just muting your video?
Well, you got to give it to him. That is multitasking, right?
Yeah, exactly. Multitasking. We all have to do what we can to keep up.
But these news cycles, Bob, I'm just going to get this done. At the end of this Zoom meeting.
Oh, my God. Oh, horrible. It was only a matter of time before this happened, by the way.
Yes.
I mean, with all the Zoom meetings and with the Brady Bunch windows, it was only a matter of time.
I'm surprised
before
it took
there
7 months.
Yeah.
Right, dogs and kids interrupting and nakedness and accidental nakedness. And you just knew that this was going to... Oh, it's my husband with no pants. Okay. I
had my money on Dr. Doom doing that at some point.
Oh, can I just say... Dr. Doom is not only in Sexy Liberal, he is in it in costume and with a Grand Doom. Some people did costuming, they did casting. I can't. Okay. Lily Tomlin made me spit my coffee out yesterday. It spewed straight across the room. Okay. Bob.
Yes, Stephanie.
What particular? I know, you're just like, oh God, you're just, I did not need you yesterday. You tweeted, Pennsylvania's making me nervous. You're like, all right, standing down, red alert for now. I mean, it really, that's what, someone else said that they like, are you swinging between like hopefulness and anxiety like every 5 seconds? I am. I'm just like,
oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly where I am. And when I sat down to write that piece, I was in one of the anxiety swings. I was really feeling it. And because we're in that period of time now. We're in that kind of Comey letter period of time where if something crazy happens between now and the end of this election cycle.
With Donald Trump president? What do you mean? Something crazy?
Yeah. Shocking that might happen, right? I mean, I'm ultimately concerned about 2 things. It's a scam and a lawsuit. And if, he's going to use either one of those things to try to weasel his way back to a second term.
Bob, speaking of the fire hose, you can't keep up, right? From Rachel Maddow, the agency's post office now. Unilateral order ended daily patrols meant to prevent robberies of blue collection boxes and mail vehicles and has left letter carriers without escorts on unsafe routes in some of the nation's biggest cities. And clearly we're already, what was the other piece, Travis? That, it is already hugely identifiable that they are targeting swing states, that the mail slowdowns are the numbers are insane in the swing states. They are targeting, and obviously major cities like where Democrats are, Detroit. Like I mean, you're like, we probably even know the other 16 ways they're going to try to suppress the vote, right?
Yeah. I mean, all we hear about is how our democracy is the envy of the world. And my God, we can't do democracy here.
Yeah.
In fact, it's not can't. There's half of the voting population who doesn't want to do it, who is actually deliberately blocking democracy in all these cases. And I don't see how they come up with a rational justification for this other than, oh, yeah, we're deliberately trying to interfere with the vote. We're deliberately trying to suppress people's ability to participate in a democratic election.
Yeah.
And that's been the case with the Republican Party for years now. I mean, this is nothing new. They've been doing this year after year after year because they see the demographic tidal wave coming for them.
Yeah.
And this is all they've got left, the shenanigans and effery.
I've said it, Bob, if people can vote, right? If people could, this is what's scaring the bejesus out of them. In some ways, it's sort of inadvertent because we're in a pandemic. That's the reason. People weren't even thinking partisan. Obviously, a lot of states, even Republican states like Utah, have done vote by mail for years. But because of the pandemic, now they're like unintentionally, oh my God, a lot more people are going to be able to vote a lot more easily. And they see what's coming. It's a blue nami. They will never win an election again if people are able to vote. I mean, So you said,
well, there's also like a nursery rhyme or a fable or something, a lesson in how they're operating their side, the Trump side of the election right now, because they're waiting until the last minute to vote. I mean, by and large, I mean, obviously there are some exceptions, but just you can see the disaster on its way. I mean, Captain Scary Pants aside, they're walking right into their own gigantic propeller.
Yeah.
They're doing it. Trump always makes things worse for Trump. He's doing it to himself.
Well,
I mean, this is all his own F up at this point.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess all we can say about is what we keep saying is vote early, however you're going to do it, because that's what's so frightening is you're like, oh my God, look at what we're dealing with so far. What do they have planned for election day? Right?
Yeah.
So, and you said, sue me for being Captain Scary Pants again, but despite polls showing Biden with a formidable lead, I'm still greatly concerned Trump will somehow scam and sue his way to a second term. So you really, the night I couldn't sleep, had to write, let's imagine the unimaginable, a second term for Donald Trump. I don't even want to go through your piece because it's too horrifying. Right. I was just like, again, la, la, la. I literally went la, la, la when I started reading your piece.
Although we've linked to it at stephaniemiller.com.
Yes. Yeah. So you do it. You do it.
Well, it is Halloween after all. So I thought I'd join in.
Oh my God.
It's something that, I mean, there's really a solid chance. I mean, we all remember 2016. We all remember going into that election day. Oh, Hillary's got this.
Yes.
I mean, I saw articles. Hillary's going to win the entire East Coast. She's going to win South Carolina.
I know. I
mean, all of the forecasters.
I love Steve Schmidt, and you remind us in there that he intoned in that Steve Schmidt way. Hillary Clinton will be the 45th president of the United States.
Hillary Clinton will be
flashbacks.
The next president of the United States. With the lips,
Now the last thing I remember you wrote before I auto asphyxiated. I mean, passed out is But you just said it, because look at what this is now. It's not, you can't even imagine a second term because it's like right now, as you said, it's just a bunch of petty, he veers from one sort of just petty kind of retaliation to another, to grievance. It's not even a governing philosophy. It's just put my opponents in jail, put the press in jail. I mean, the pandemic's
I go
over.
back to 2004.
Just the pandemic, as you talk about. How much worse would that get with this? Obviously, herd immunity is the plan, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's just. I mean, the dumbness of watching all of those people packed in like sardines into one of those rallies with not a mask in sight and without obvious social distancing too. I mean, I'm shocked every time I see it, and we shouldn't be shocked by now, but I think we still are, seeing basically what amounts to a death cult, where these people are willing to die, at least get sick, for their messiah, for their cult leader.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this before. And the cult leader, of all people, This is the thing. He could serve 12 terms, and I'll never get over this. The guy that they're worshiping is Donald effing Trump. Donald Trump, the cartoon character from Manhattan that we all made fun of for decades. And they're like, oh, yes, this is the guy to lead us to the promised land.
Yeah.
No,
it is. Bob, I said this a couple weeks ago. I tweeted that we've reached the Jonestown section of this, right? This cult.
Yeah.
We've reached the Kool-Aid drinking death cult. Because I know, for those of us that have barely left our friggin' house since March, like I feel like I'm in some parallel universe where they're all there, maskless, jammed together, shouting as literally state after state moves into the red zone. 31 states are spiking. We're at levels that almost at the height of it, right? Or at the height of it again.
Yeah.
And we're just moving into the fall, right? In colder weather and flu season. And it's just,
Well, the good news is that Donald Trump has no business dealings in China. So there's at least that. Oh, yes. It's Joe Biden. Joe Biden is up to his eyeballs in China, right?
Yes. Who's the fashion designer? We said this plot line needed the fashion designer a long time ago going, no, take one thing off.
Coco Chanel.
Coco Chanel.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. Secret Chinese bank account while he keeps railing against the China virus. No, that's too much. That's too much.
By the way, credit where credit is due. I'm going to pat myself on the back here. I've been trolling Don Jr. with the fact that they have an office in Shanghai. They've been operating a Trump Hotel's office in Shanghai, which is also in this New York Times piece.
Yep.
They've been operating this for years. I mean, there was the top Chinese bank rented an entire floor of Trump Tower in Manhattan, an entire floor for the rent of $2 million a month. I mean, talk about up to his eyeballs in China. That's what Donald Trump is. And it's just projection that's keeping him out of it.
But is that weirdly, Bob, like somehow this continues to happen because they think, it couldn't possibly be happening because they're all open about it. Remember, like Eric, we get all our money out of Russia. We don't need funding here. I mean, I'm like, they just said it out loud.
Yeah.
They said it, and then he just yells fake news, and I guess his base just, I mean, it's like nothing seems to. Okay.
Well, once again, if you have a cult, you can say anything you want to the cult, and the cult members will believe every word of it. I've been talking about this on my show. I mean, Donald Trump could get up and say that every man, woman, and child in America is going to get a jetpack made of beef, and all of his people, all of the red hats, yay! Finally, jetpacks made of beef.
Jetpacks made of beef.
Jetpacks. And they start to chant, jetpacks, lock her up. And it's, of course, nonsense. It's gibberish. He's just getting through the moment. Whatever pops into his head, his drug-addled, worm-infested head, that's what he's going to blurt out. And again, the astonishing thing is they all go, yes, he's such a truth teller. He's an a-hole, but at least he's a truth teller.
Oh, yes. Don't you think that's the one thing he could do for humanity is donate his brain to science? And it's just, you're right, it's like a bunch of like syphilitic worms mixed with Adderall and I don't know what else is in there.
That's easy because it always pops out of his ear. He always has to pick it up off the ground. It's like a jelly bean. He just sticks it right back in there.
One of those Star Trek Wrath of Khan earwigs.
Yes, that's right. That's his entire brain.
Don't you just feel at this point like nature is trying to with us? Everything in the world is trying to, right? You're where you are in Virginia, the hairy poisonous caterpillars that look exactly like Donald Trump's hair. I mean, this is part of the. It's a right, and then you bring in Sarah Palin, and it's just we're in some.
Sarah Palin,
we're in a Fellini film of just epic proportions. We're like, wait, there's not poisonous caterpillars that look like Trump's hair, right? That's not. Yeah. That can't. No.
I mean, I was listening to that clip of Sarah Palin earlier in the show, and I pinpointed what's wrong with Sarah Palin.
Oh.
There's no one around Sarah Palin to tell her no. There's no one to go, don't do this.
Going rogue. Going rogue, Bob. I'm going rogue. No one can stop me now.
There was a Saturday Night Live sketch the other night with Beck Bennett where he's doing this really kind of idiotic Instagram video. And all of his friends immediately DM him and say, don't post that. Do not post that. Do not post. Bad idea. Bad. Don't do it. And he does it anyway. And of course he gets trolled for it.
There is no Mrs. Tubin in America right now to go stop
That's
it.
Right.
Put that away.
Yeah, that's like right now, if I were to say, Okay, maybe I can get away with it right now. Stephanie, do you mind?
No, Bob. Put your giant schlong away. All right, love you, Bob. We
love you.
We
Bye-bye.
linked
Hang
to
in
your
there.
we linked to your stupid Captain Scary Pants piece at stephaniemiller.com. I hope you're happy.
I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
And also,
actually, I'm not.
Please listen to his podcast.
Yes, it's fantastic.
Yes.
Bob Cesca show is essential.
It is.
Okay.
Essential listening.
Thank you.
I
Yes.
almost called it the Malcolm Nance show. Okay, love you.
Really?
I'm really tired.
Oh
I'm
my
so
God.
tired. Goodbye, Bob. I
Thanks,
love you.
Bob.